What's up, guys? This is my prediction video for UFC 212 this weekend. It's going to be a really good card. It has some decent fights, some fights that are most likely going to be exciting. So let's start with the featured prelim fight. Rafael Sunsao versus Marlon Moraes. This is an interesting fight in the bantamweight division. Sunsao is one of the top-ranked fighters. He has a pressure-heavy, grappling-heavy style. He's scrappy. He has a good chin and good ability to go through shots and implement his game. Ultimately, where he wants to take it is to the ground, especially against a guy like Marlon Moraes, who's coming from World Series of Fighting. He was a champion there. A lot of people are anticipating this fight because they want to see how Moraes does against the top of the bantamweight division in the UFC because he's been just tearing it up over there. He's more of a striker, very vicious, has a good overhand right. He has a decent ground game, but he gets a little wild sometimes and gets taken down. So my prediction for this fight, it's going to go to Rafael Sunsao. I think his toughness, his experience, and his grappling heavy style is going to be a bit difficult for Marlon Moraes because Moraes can get a little bit wild, and I think Sunsao is going to be able to go under the overhands and take him down and control him throughout the fight. And I think Sunsao is going to win by a decision. Then we go to Eric Silva versus Yancy Medeiros. This is a welterweight fight, which is pretty interesting for Yancy because he was a lightweight for most of his career. They both have a good amount of fights in the UFC. Eric Silva is more experienced. He's been in the UFC a little longer. He's been up and down in his career, especially lately after USADA. I'm not going to claim anything that he's been doing something, but after USADA came, his body changed and his fighting style changed. He used to be a berserker. He would go out there and try to finish his opponent from the start. Now he's a bit more patient. He still hits hard, but he's been taking a more safe route. But he's a good striker, has some wicked power, very fast, athletic. His jiu-jitsu is really good. It's really fundamentally sound and correct. Yancy Medeiros, he's a smaller fighter. He's coming from lightweight. He's more of a jiu-jitsu fighter. He's really tough. He has a good chin, a lot of heart. He doesn't give up in there. His striking is a little bit gumpy, a little bit unathletic, if you will. He usually would use his reach, but now he's fighting Eric Silva, who's a bit bigger than him. So the striking is not going to be too good for him. But he is dangerous off his back. He's really flexible, really lanky on the ground. He's a bit unpredictable as well on the floor. So ultimately, I think Eric Silva is going to want to keep this standing, and I don't think Yancy is going to be able to take him down at all. Even if it goes to the ground, Eric Silva is really good on the ground. So I'm going to go with Eric Silva by a first or second round knockout due to him keeping it on the feet and just tagging Yancy. Then we go to Paulo Borrachinha versus Aldo Bangos. This is the banger of the fight. There is no way this fight is going to distance. These guys are sprinters. I mean, they are the sprinters of the sprinters. Paulo is more of a boxer. He doesn't kick as much, but he has some really good boxing. He's pretty big for the division. He likes to pressure his opponents and then catch them against the cage, throw volume punches as well as big power shots and combinations. He also has a decent jiu-jitsu game and a decent ground game, which can be key in this fight. Aluwale is very explosive. I mean, this guy is so fast, so powerful. Everything he throws is to get a knockout. He doesn't pace himself at all. He has one decision fight in his career, and that was his last fight against Cesar Ferreira. He's really quick, especially with in and out movement. He doesn't have a preferred stance. He fights equal in orthodox or southpaw. He has some really dangerous high kicks. His left straight is really dangerous, as well as his left hook. And he really likes to blitz his opponents and get in really quick and land big shots. But his weakness has been his cardio and his grappling defense, which could be very problematic in this fight. So I'm going to go with Paulo in this fight, and I think he's going to take him down, weather the storm. He might get hurt in the beginning, and I think he's going to win by some kind of finish in the first round due to taking him down. Then we go to Vitor Belfort versus Nate Marquart, the veterans, the legends, end of their careers here. Their combined fights is 95 fights. And they've both been fighting since like the mid to late 90s. Crazy how they never fought each other yet, but now they're fighting, and Vitor Belfort is a striker with some really explosive jiu-jitsu, especially his armbar. His striking, especially his boxing, is really quick and powerful. He likes to throw straight punches, and he has some really good uppercuts as well. And if he catches his opponent, he does not stop. It's not going to be one shot. It's usually 4 or 5 punches after. He likes to walk on the cage, move around, and then look for an opening. He likes to explode on that opening too. If he finds an opening, he's exploding with everything he has into it. Nate Marquardt is a bit more well-rounded, I suppose. He is really powerful. He's a bit more basic. He has a really good block, really good defense, really good offense. Everything is just balanced about him. But the thing is, both these fighters have lost their abilities to take a punch, so this fight is most likely not going the distance. But I'm going to go with Vitor Belfort, and I think he's going to win by first or second round knockout. Then we go to the co-main event, Claudia Gadelha versus Karolina Kovalovich. Two of the best fighters in the strawweight division. Claudia is very explosive, very powerful. Other than maybe Jessica Andrade, Claudia is probably the strongest. She has some good striking, especially her hooks, and her jab is really precise. Her double leg takedown is amongst the best in women's MMA right now. She might be the best takedown artist in the strawweight division. Her jiu-jitsu is elite. She has the best jiu-jitsu in the division. You can say for the first 2 rounds, she's the best fighter in the strawweight division. But her weakness has been her cardio. Although she's changed her camp, changed where she trains, changed everything to prepare for fights now. New coaches, everything. And she says that now her cardio is way better. She's more flexible. Her striking's gotten better. She's pretty much saying she's a way better fighter in every area because now she trains at an elevation. So maybe her cardio has gotten better. If her cardio has gotten better, she could very well be the best fighter in this division. But she's fighting Karolina, who's very unorthodox, very strange fighter. Switches stances constantly, keeps her hands down. She has a really good spinning back fist, some good spinning back kicks. Her jabs and straights are pretty precise. The thing about her, she's just so tough. She never backs off. She gets hit by everything and she just walks through them. If you've seen her fights with Rose Namajunas and Joanna, she got hit quite a bit in those fights, but she never looked like she even got hit afterward. Like, if you look at her afterward, she never looked like she got tagged up or anything. She's so tough, has a really good chin, has a lot of heart, has really good cardio as well, which could be a factor in this fight if Claudia did not fix her cardio issues. But this is a 3-round fight, so this favors Claudia a lot. If this was 5 rounds, it'd be tough. But I'm going to go with Claudia, and I think she's going to win by a decision. I think she's going to take Karolina down, control her. I don't think Karolina's going to be able to stop her that much. In the first 2 rounds, Karolina is going to have trouble in every area, I believe. And then we go to the main event, the main attraction to this card. Jose Aldo versus Max Holloway. This is a very interesting fight because Max Holloway is the only fighter really in the top 5 or so that has not fought Jose Aldo yet. Aldo has beaten everybody else, really. He's almost cleaned out the division, although there are prospects coming up and newcomers. Holloway's the only guy that he has not fought yet, and that's what makes it very interesting. Aldo, as we all know, very fast, explosive, powerful, has some good cardio. His jiu-jitsu is elite. His takedown offense is very underrated. He's not going to get taken down in this fight, I guarantee it. He has probably the best takedown defense in the UFC. His leg kicks are legendary, which could be a main attack in this fight, because Max does not check leg kicks that well, although he might have trained for it in this fight. But if he didn't, this could be a really long fight for him. Aldo has really good movement. His footwork is amazing from the last fight that we saw with Frankie Edgar. His pivotal movement is excellent. His ability to get away from straight shots. His left hook is just dangerous. His right hand is dangerous. The thing that makes Aldo unpredictable is his sheer speed. People cannot time his speed that well. Other than Conor McGregor and sometimes Chad Mendes, no one's able to time him because he's just so quick. And he's fighting Max Holloway, who's very well-rounded, very versatile, especially in the striking. In the striking range, he throws everything. Spinning back kicks, spinning hook kicks, side kicks. His boxing's really good. Leg kicks, he throws everything out there. He's very tall for the division, 5'11", although he has a reach disadvantage by 1 inch, which could be a lot of problems against a guy like Aldo. His submission ability is really good. The knock on Max Holloway is, 1, his leg kick defense is not really there. It might be there in this fight, but also his takedown defense is not the greatest either. I would not be surprised at all Aldo actually attempts to take Holloway down constantly. Because on the ground, I think that's where Aldo's biggest advantage is. Because on the feet, Holloway is very dangerous. So my prediction for this fight is going to be Jose Aldo. I think Jose Aldo is going to use his leg kicks. He's going to use his speed. I think he's going to be a bit faster than Holloway. And I think the wrestling and also the takedowns can play a factor in this fight if Aldo decides to go that route. I think it's going to be a pretty good fight for Aldo. I don't think he's going to have much trouble in this fight. But I'm going to go with Aldo. I'm going to go by a 4th or 5th round TKO. Those are my predictions, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe. Also, comment below what your guys' predictions are, because I'm curious to see if you guys agree or disagree, who your picks are, and why. So make sure to leave those below. And also, make sure you guys watch this card. It's going to be an amazing card. Some really fun fights, especially the main event is going to be excellent. So make sure you guys watch the fights. And again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.